Day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's
37 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name's Chris Hand.
Would you be mine?
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
The Mr. Rogers song, it's lost a lot of appeal for me.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't want people to be your neighbor?
It's just that the word neighbor, I feel like, has been weaponized against me because of
That's true.
Democrats in Minnesota.
Oh, that's fair.
I was really playing it because of Dan's cardigan.
The cardigan is very neighborly. Dan, there was a backup at the coffee machine, at Wally's Bean Machine. So Dan had to go retrieve his mug before we got into the break.
Next contract negotiation, I want my own Wally's Bean Machine.
Can we get one in the studio?
That's what we need.
Send Wally an email.
I think we'll be in your studio more than you guys are.
Well, okay, yeah, because the funny thing was, I mean, I went in, I kid you not, 3 times. And every time there was somebody in there. Now, one of them was a boss, so I chose not to, yell at him. But that's okay.
But you let the interns from the country station have it, didn't you? Dan is ruthless with the interns.
He told them, whatever you do, don't play the cow gaze on your radio station.
He said, you guys are responsible for last night, aren't you?
Anyway, moving. Yeah, so you want to talk about...
I do.
Yeah, so Chris is all upset because...
I'm a bit miffed.
You're a bit miffed at the Preds.
Yeah. So they have Pride Night last night, and I didn't know it was happening, but I happen to get promotional emails every now and again because we've gone to games. And I was like, they didn't say that in the email, because my wife and I will randomly look at them, and that's kind of like, honestly, that's how we decide if we're going to go or not. If we have a free night and we have, the extra cash flow and the tickets are cheap, we'll be like, yeah, let's go. Well, that's how we decide. It's very random. It's very sporadic. We're not huge fans, but the kids love it. So, we'll do it occasionally. So we get the email, and I'm looking at it, and I showed it to Dan for confirmation. There's no mention of Pride Night on the email that they sent yesterday, and they sent it at, they sent it at 10:48 a.m. So their last push for tickets yesterday, no mention of Pride Night.
Now, why wouldn't they mention that?
Aren't you proud of it?
Yeah.
Isn't this a ticket mover?
It seems to me like they didn't want people to know that it was Pride Night because, I don't know, for whatever reason, they think that last-minute ticket buyers are not going to be hip to Pride Night.
So then I went on the calendar. I went to the website, right? Mm-hmm. And I went to the buy tickets calendar, and I went to the day. No mention of Pride Night. I click through. Now I'm in the Ticketmaster line to get tickets. No mention of Pride Night. The only mention of it on the website for the Predators was hidden in the community section. And to be fair, there was a tweet from Bridgestone and there was a Facebook post from the Preds earlier in the day. But I don't follow Bridgestone Arena, and I'm not on Facebook.
Right.
And the odds of you seeing that, I feel like, are very slim. Like, it should be blatantly stated when you're buying the tickets. Because if I had showed up there last night with my boys, I would have been furious.
Right.
Like, I would have lost my mind. That is not what we're coming to a hockey game to see.
It feels like a betrayal of trust.
It really does.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Because it's not like we're talking about, I don't know, free wristband night or whatever. I mean, this is a cultural issue.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it seems like they're just trying to sneak it in under the radar and get in and get out. But it's just, it's insane. It's insane. And then they played the Devils, which is a bit on the nose, don't you think?
Yeah. Here's the deal. Do they, I think these organizations are forced into this. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, Pride Night. And by the way, and I stated this clearly, the Preds, they can do whatever it is that they want to do. They're a private business. But number one, it's gay pride. It's not trans. But it seems like they always seem to have, sort of like a trans theme.
Yeah. Well, there was a dude in full glam singing with the cow gaze, singing the national anthem.
That's not gay. That's trans. And I realize there's overlap and whatever. But all I'm saying is that there is a difference between the two.
This is a lifestyle choice that, as a Christian, I think sentence you to hell. Like, all things aside. And I think that it is the most loving thing that I can do as a Christian to tell you that your lifestyle is going to lead you to that direction. And if I was to show up and unbeknownst to me, that's the lifestyle they're promoting, I would have lost it. And then it's like, so do I have to do extensive research every time I go to a Preds game now? And go check the community section and check the Facebook and check all these different things to make sure that they're not going to force an ideology down my kids' throats when it's supposed to be a family-friendly atmosphere?
Didn't social media, because I know that Sam and I were talking off the air, social media went crazy on this, and people were making fun of, I guess they had a specific logo change for the night.
Yeah, well, they did a Pride logo, and then everybody was calling them the gay predators.
Yeah, the memes were flowing like crazy. Like I was saying earlier, the John Hamm one, that was a real one someone made. Like in Mad Men, the marketing pitch, and they've got the logo. How about gay predators? And it's like, it's not going to be well received when also your nickname for your arena is Smashville. Come on, people.
Also, know your audience.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I said earlier. Know your audience. And that's what I think they get strong-armed into this by the activist groups.
But like, if a gay person likes hockey, how does not having a Pride night impact them going to the game?
I will say this. So if you, and because I've had conversations with folks that I know that are gay, and if you are gay and there's like gay Pride night, but then it got more of a trans theme, that actually makes some gay folks upset because they don't want anything to do with the trans culture.
What was it, Dave Chappelle? It was like he did a whole bit on LGBT. It's like the L's don't like the G's, and both of them don't like the B's, and all three are wondering what the hell's going on with the T's.
Yep, and that's the point. Now,
can I just say on the hypothetical though, this would have been my guest reaction if let's say you'd taken the boys. I could picture Brooks walking in there like this.
Gay!
No.
Gay!
No, I don't think we would have done that. I think we would have turned 180 degrees and walked right out of there, though.
Well,
would you have demanded your money back?
Yes, 100%. I would have put up an absolute stink.
Yep.
And I'm not the guy that would play the radio card very often, but that would be the time where I would have thrown it down.
You would have said,
quickly.
"Do you know who I am?"
No. I would have just said, "I'm going to roast you on my radio show tomorrow if I don't get my money back." And then, spoiler alert, I'm roasting you anyway.
Yeah.
What about the cow gays? So,
Oh, boy.
This is this is again. It's like there's layers to this, and it gets worse and worse and worse. So, for the band to be named the Cow Gays in the beginning, it's like, oh my gosh, are we really doing this? And one of them's wearing like a Macho Man Randy Savage jacket with the tassels, and then he's got full female makeup on with a beard. How do I explain that to an 8-year-old boy? How would you explain that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So then I was in the process. Me and Sam were texting back and forth last night. I kept him up way past his bedtime.
The game did that.
I decided to make myself more angry.
And me, thank you.
And I went and I was like, okay, well, what music do the Cow Gays play? Mm-hmm. And the first song I found, their new single, it literally is like, I'm super gay and Jesus is totally cool with that. I'm like, no, my friend, he's not.
I don't wish I wasn't gay no more. Clap your hands for Jesus. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. I don't wish I wasn't gay no more.
So basically, they're mocking Christianity.
Yeah. They haven't read the book, Dan.
They haven't read the book. They haven't read the book.
I don't even think they got through the Cliff Notes version because I think it's pretty well established.
Yeah. Everybody, of course, on the super text line, as you can imagine, when is straight pride night, not allowed to do that, obviously. So
I just don't understand, like, why do we need to do any of this?
I don't know.
Like,
because it's They're forced into it by the groups.
If a gay guy likes hockey, like, cool, dude, go to a game and enjoy hockey. Like, you don't need it to be more gay if you already like it.
Well, and the thing that I've pointed out to Dan earlier, and like people are doing online, is the crazies keep track of who does and doesn't participate. And they make lists. They make their notes of who they think is an ally and who they think hates them. And they start to form these really weird preconceived notions about players simply because they don't put rainbow tape on their stick.
I mean,
That's so dumb.
To be fair, though, I'm also making lists. And I'm also coming up with preconceived notions about these players. Because only one of them, there was only one Nashville Predators player that didn't put the rainbow tape on. Stamkos. That's it.
Okay.
So,
and no one's going to tell that man he has to do anything. He's got 2 Stanley Cups and is currently leading the team in scoring. So people can just.
But where's the rest of the team on that? Like you're telling me every guy on that team is okay with this ideology? Let's get him some tampons for the men's room. Let's do that next too, like the Baltimore Ravens and the Baltimore Orioles, because we have to be inclusive.
At least the Orioles fans booed the governor.
Fair.
The Maryland governor got booed?
Yeah.
At
opening day for the Orioles.
Did he really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, probably had a lot of veterans there, and they didn't like that he was trying to. What was it he tried to do? Oh, God. He had some stolen valor
invoking about
issues.
his service.
Something about a medal that he got. He said that he got a medal for being wounded, and he didn't get it, and then they gave it to him as like, here, just take it. Remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
It's okay. I can't remember now, but it didn't look good for him.
Oh.
So anyway, but it doesn't look good for the Preds.
Why would they do it? I just don't understand. Nobody. It didn't like. I would love to see the post game analysis. Like, did you have more ticket sales because it was Pride Night versus the Devils than you had on another night versus the Devils? Did you do it versus the Devils on purpose?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Come on, what are we doing?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's against their brand, but why these places, why these teams decide to do this? Remember the Dodgers last year, or the year before. Remember when the Dodgers had
the nuns in drag,
the Weird A nuns out there?
What was it? The Sisters of
Perpetual Suffering.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's pretty
on the. It's
pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate, actually.
I'm sure it doesn't feel good to have 3 inches of makeup on in the San Francisco, LA heat. In a nun outfit.
But and at the same time, I expect that out of LA. Like, that doesn't shock me.
No.
But we are supposed to be, my pastor says it all the time, like, we're the belt buckle of the Bible Belt, right?
Yep.
If that's true, our pants are around our ankles because what the hell are we doing?
Private business, they're going to do what they're going to do. And as fans and as consumers, we can react the way that, we choose to react. I personally would not go to that game. I would probably react the way that you would have reacted if you had arrived at that. And I think that, when you have these kinds of events, you're just basically what you're doing is you're taking part of your fan base and you're saying, we don't care about how you feel.
No. But at the same time, they're saying to that same part of the fan base, we do care how you feel because we're not going to let you know what's happening in the marketing emails and on the calendar. You'd have to either be following us on Twitter or Facebook. You'd have to follow Bridgestone on Twitter.
Such a betrayal.
You know what I mean? Like,
Such a betrayal.
Like, it's not that they're just saying we don't care what you say. It's like they think you're too stupid to figure it out, and then they do care.
Well, or they want you to buy tickets. You show up, and then you've driven all the way down there. You've got the parking.
Learn the hard way. You
might as well just, since you've paid the ticket and you've paid the parking, then you're just going to stay and watch the game and not pay attention to apparently the guy in makeup and
a couple guys in makeup.
In dress. Was he in a dress too?
Well, so there was the Cowgays lead singer.
Flamboyant.
And then there was the guy doing his own thing on the band stage. So but it also is a betrayal in a sense of all they did to honor the victims of the Covenant school shooting was put the school's logo on their helmet and a little sticker on the bottom corner. And then a few weeks later, they had Pride Night and blew right past the fact that was somebody who celebrated that ideology. It was part of that lifestyle that went into a school and killed 6 people on a random weekday. And I will never forget where I was in a college class at Tennessee State when that happened. My grandparents had attended that church for 10 years. And to completely ignore people's feelings in that aspect and continue to do it.
I get where you're at there. I do think that that's a bit of a stretch. Like, I think that we can have a separate case about Pride Night and whether or not you're alienating a fan base and not say, well, you're mocking the victims of this shooting. I disagree with that. I don't like Pride Night, but I don't think them hosting a Pride Night 3 weeks after that shooting is like an endorsement of radical lunatic trans person shooting kids.
One of the things that I would be curious about is, with all of the negativity that the press got, did they have any kind of a response online to all of the rampant mocking of this?
Yes. The response was nothing.
Oh, all right.
Because that is in itself its own response. They didn't tell people to stop, but they're not also going to come after people and apologize.
Right.
It's
I
just
wonder if they'll do it
insanity.
next year. Of course they'll do it next year. This is what they do.
Yeah.
So,
And if you look at the executives that are making these decisions, yeah, they're doing it next year.
By the way, real quick, did you watch the 5 yesterday?
Yes.
So I played a little bit of audio.
Did you do the Jessica Tarlov stuff?
No, I did. I played another cut where he was talking about the current Khomeini gay, that question from the 5. He roasted Jessica Tarlov, but I thought it was interesting. She wasn't there yesterday.
They said it was a prior engagement, and there was it was a prior engagement.
BS.
They didn't know, they said. Also, that was the same interview where he says, I'm going to sign an executive order to pay TSA. Screw these guys.
Yep.
And then what happens about 6 hours later?
Yeah, the Democrats.
They can't let Donald Trump come in and get the win.
They can't be the hero. They can't let Trump be the hero. And so that's exactly what they did. They just they said, okay, we gotta come up with some sort of a solution. We can't let Trump be the hero.
Right.
And they did. Now, what I find interesting is that I had Scott Desjardins on earlier. I actually disagree with the congressman, where, I think that it was the Democrats caved because they didn't get the reforms that they wanted out of ICE and the Border Patrol. And ICE and the Border Patrol, they got $75 billion. They're
good to go.
funded for. So, I mean, the way
Isn't
that
it through 2029 that they're funded?
Yes. So the way that I see it is that, and far be it for me to disagree with a congressman, but I mean, I see it as the Democrats caved. They didn't want Donald Trump to be the hero. They didn't get the reforms that they wanted. And ICE and Border Patrol, they're funded through 2029. So I think that now where we are is the House, now they've got to deal with this. This was kind of dumped in their lap. And so now we'll see where that goes.
But at the same time, when you look at like the Senate Republicans, we're like, oh, cool. So you guys are going to get another week off and not pass the Save America Act. And
2 weeks.
yeah. Oh, jeez. Of course.